Could you just give us a quick rundown of the three different pedals you have here?
Yeah, I'll give a quick brief rundown. For all the pedals, and going with the sound design theme, I wanted each element of the pedals to have bass line. So for the Ottobit, it's all the top knobs at max, all the bottom knobs at minimum. And then, so this is my dry, and this is the actual, this is the dry sound, this is the wet sound, you know, no effects.
1 to 1.
Yeah, 1 to 1. So then you can slowly start adding things in. We have a Bitcrusher, that's voiced like a guitar fuzz. A ladder style filter, that's our own custom topology.
That is an amazing sounding filter.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. And it's our own custom designed, ladder inspired, but our own topology. And then the next one in the line is sample rate to get some Amiga sounds. Atari. And then the next component is the sequencer, which you can have free running, and you can assign it to pitch, filter, or sample rate. So here I have it assigned to pitch. And you can get very kind of video game or melodic sounds.
Yeah, that's the thing, because to me, bit crushers and stutter effects and sequencers, they are often highly unmusical to me.
Yeah.
Like they're just weird for the sake of being weird, often.
Yeah.
But this one sounds super musical.
It's musical and it's reactive, so I'm always monitoring for a pick attack, and I readjust and realign things to a pick attack. I'm always also monitoring tap tempo, so I keep everything in line with the player, and so they can kind of forget about the weirdness and just, you know, create music.
Yeah.
And the sequencer can be edited with the 6 steps on the second layer. And they can all be skipped. So you can just go with a single element. I'll just dial up a quick 3-step sequence. You don't have to use all 6 steps. And then, like you mentioned, we also have the stutter effect as well. So again, it monitors the pick attack.
Ah. No way.
Yeah. You can trap the stutter. You know, all the parameters still work. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I absolutely need one of these.
Yeah, and it's great with
that's
drum
the only one I don't have.
Yeah, you'll have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of cool possibilities. The next one on the line is our PolyMoon, and it's kind of that Holdsworth stack delays. It's a network of 6 delays, and they're kind of organized not in series or parallel. It's this mixed format, and it has a really interesting feedback structure. But you can, again, like I mentioned with this, get to a safe spot. You can turn all of these, you know, and get to a home base of just a simple delay.
Yes.
And then you can start to add in taps inside of the network. So it gives it more of a 3-dimensional sound because they're all panned differently. And that can be then smeared with the dimension control. And then we brought all the way back to a typical standard delay.
So not only do you have an amazing delay pedal right there, you also have an amazing reverb.
Yeah, it's kind of, what's different about normal reverbs is the way it kind of allows for your playing to not get overtaken by the way an algorithmic tank would. This allows you to have your guitar signal separate and allows for a lot of articulation. And then the PolyMoon also features a great dynamic flanger, which can be set to follow your envelope. So it creates almost a doubling. And it has its own feedback, which you can turn on and off. And then you can blend in the delay on top of that. And then also dimension.
Dude, this is like a PolyMoon masterclass. I have this pedal, but you just showed me stuff that I hadn't unlocked yet at all.
Yeah. The flanger has 2 envelope options: envelope up, envelope down, and LFO control for a standard flanger. And then on top of that, each part of the delay network can be pitch shifted, and you have some early and late pitch shift controls, which get you to some strange FM territories. Or some more conventional octaves that can either be discrete when you have dimension low, or spread out over time if dimension is cranked. And then with all of that, we have stereo barber pole phasers. So I have one side always phase shifting up, one side always phase shifting down. And you have some control here to have slower tempos or fixed tempos or tempos that are locked to the delay time. So I can engage that right here. This is slow and synced. And then you'll hear the phasers track the delay time. So kind of extra dimension to the sound.
I think that must be what it sounds like to being trapped in a dream or something like dream sequence.
Yeah, that was the idea. And so all of these sounds with our 4-button switch, which I'm connected to now, they can be stored, and the pedal will remember which preset you're on and store, and you can recall them. So here you can nail some other crazy sound.
Yes.
Or if this isn't your cup of tea, you can make it more conventional and then store that. And so now you have different options. Or you can go back to where I was with the pitch and flange, and then back again to the conventional delay.
Will the switcher be able to, for instance, now this looks really neat with the Mercury7 and the PolyMoon right above it. Would it technically be able to, if I hit one, switch to different presets on both the PolyMoon and Mercury?
It'll so it works on a control voltage. Each of our pedals can be set to look at the expression pedal in a different way. The expression pedal jack can be used for MIDI, 4-button switch, tap, or expression, and all 3 pedals. If they're both set to 4-button switch and you have a splitter cable, they'll the 4-button switch will recall the same preset on both. They're independent. It's whatever's stored in their internal memory, but if you hit 1, it'll call up 1 on both. If you have the splitter cable. If you call it 3, it'll be 3 on both.
Yeah.
Or all 3, you can have them connected that way.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah, and then last in the chain I have our Mercury7, which we mentioned is kind of our tribute to the first digital reverb that existed. And that reverb had a really interesting grainy modulation character that kind of spoke to us. And so we took that and built upon that sound with pitch shifting and swell and a couple other novel effects that we've added. So right now I have it set up for the cathedral sound, which it takes a longer time to build the density. We also have our ultra plate, which is in some ways a smoother, has a faster response, faster buildup of echoes, but doesn't allow your sound to breathe as much. So there's 2 options. If you want something really dense and kind of lush, that's ultra plate. If you want something open and almost haunting, the cathedra is what you want. So those 2 algorithms, and then Swell is always available, and its effects both dry, so you basically have a built-in slow here just on dry.
That is really cool.
Without the reverb. And then also
I don't know why I never thought of trying that. I just been
Yes.
swelling reverbs.
Yeah, hidden features. Yeah, there's lots of hidden stuff. So we also have a vibrato that you can engage for a Daniel Lanois type of sound with, you know, something like cathedra and swell. Some vibrato to the sound. And then we also have our pitch. So we have octave down, a slow octave down, and a slow octave up. I think that's the fifths. What I like about our pitch control, and here I'll turn it to an octave, is that we also have a pitch mix underneath the normal reverb mix. The pitch mix allows you to dial in just the subtle amount or not so subtle amount of pitch shifting, so you can really tune it. Sometimes, especially when you're using it with distortion or kind of a sound with more harmonic components to it, the pitch shifting can be overwhelming. So the pitch mix allows you to dial it in. So you can have an extreme. It's extreme, or you can dial it back where it's just subtle. And I really like that ability to kind of slowly bring in the pitch.
Exactly, that's like a super important feature because, like you said, a lot of shimmer reverbs that I've tried, they have a tendency to just become too overbearing and just too much.
Yeah.
Like they just cascade away into infinity.
Yeah,
It becomes a mess.
Yeah, it does become a mess. I actually like to put the pitch mix control on an expression pedal, and that way I have dynamic control of how much octaves enter and exit the tank. And I really love that feature.
Awesome. Thank you so much for giving a quick masterclass on your pedals. I learned a lot of new stuff here.
Excellent.
Thanks, Angelo. That was really
you're
cool.
welcome.